Hello, I'm Mara Cruz. First of all, it is an honor to have the Denver American Indian Commission choose me as the 2016 recipient of the Mayor's Diversity and Inclusion Award. I am truly humbled by the thought. Since I often avoid individual recognition, I accept this award on behalf of Cafe Cultura, an organization I helped found and now guide as executive director. We are an arts, culture, and youth development organization that promotes unity and healing among indigenous peoples through creative expression, while empowering youth to find their voice, reclaim oral and written traditions, and become leaders in their communities. In short, we believe in the power of story to connect youth to their culture and community. Cafe Cultura does this through a variety of means. We host one of the best open mic venues in the Denver metro area and the only space focused on family and youth. We also conduct highly engaging and culturally relevant spoken word and poetry workshops for underserved youth throughout Colorado. Cafe Cultura partners with organizations and schools to teach spoken word classes, publish youth poetry, and organize participant showcases. In an effort to develop young leaders within our community, we coordinate a youth leadership program for indigenous youth. When I think about our impact, I usually defer to the voices of those whom we serve. Here are a few quotes shared with us via surveys and direct communication. In an anonymous survey, one person stated, Cafe Cultura provides a format for youth to express themselves in a positive, creative manner, inspiring words of the next generation of Native youth. Angel, a 9th grade participant in our workshop, had this to say, I enjoyed expressing myself through poetry. I learned to not be embarrassed about my culture and be proud. A 5th grade teacher at a Thornton Elementary School shared her thoughts about our impact. Cafe Cultura planted a seed into the minds of our students, who now truly understand the power of their own voice and stories. Thank you for empowering, supporting, and helping my students realize they have the tools to write and the capabilities to share their knowledge. A high school participant in one of our poetry classes reflected on her experience. I especially enjoyed being able to not only publish our poems, but then read them at the showcase and take home some of our own copies, which I was able to give to my family. I think spoken word really helped me to improve my writing abilities, not only with poetry, but the other literature as well. The principal at La Academia commented on the impact of our class. Our students loved the class and were ecstatic when they were able to see their words in print. The class has given our students a voice, empowering them and giving them a sense of self and community. A recent participant in our youth leadership program had this to say, I learned that patience is key when trying to be a leader, and everyone has their role when trying to change society. Another stated, I will become a leader in my community and teach young ones the same. Cafe Cultura looks forward to building on our success and having even greater impact. For more information about our work in the community and how you can support, please visit our website at cafecultura.org.
On behalf of Asian Avenue Magazine, I would like to thank the Agency for Human Rights and Community Partnerships and the Denver Asian American Pacific Islander Commission for the honor of receiving the Mayor's Diversity and Inclusion Award this year. Truly, thank you. This is extra special for us as we celebrate our 10th anniversary providing information about Asian American news, culture, and lifestyle to the city of Denver. In July 2006, we printed our first issue and distributed it at the Colorado Dragon Boat Festival. The story behind Asian Avenue Magazine is an immigrant story. I was born in Taipei, Taiwan, and at the age of 2, my parents immigrated to Denver. In Taipei, my mom had studied communications and worked as a reporter, but due to the English language barrier, she would work in retail for the next 20 years, selling sunglasses. In 2004, I graduated from Denver's Kennedy High School and decided to pursue a journalism degree. My mom was ecstatic as she shared her idea to start an Asian magazine, a resource for Asians as well as a mode to educate non-Asians about the diverse cultures in our Asian community. There was and is a need to increase Asian American Pacific Islander, or AAPI, visibility in Denver. While there are about 28,000 AAPIs in Denver, we only make up 4.5% of the city's population. It is hard to feel comfortable or to thrive when you are always the other and not reflected in the world around you. That's why we needed the magazine, an outlet to highlight the amazing events, pertinent news, and growing vitality of our AAPI community. Our goal at Asian Avenue is connecting cultures, linking lives. One of our favorite events has been our Joy of Living dinners, where we take our readers to eat different Asian cuisines. And the best part is the diverse group of people who attend these events, many who are not Asian. They will say that they've always wanted to try these foods but didn't know how. They didn't have an in. And Asian Avenue magazine gives people that in. And that has been our innovation by creatively linking the lives of people from completely different backgrounds and experiences. We have featured hundreds of API organizations, talented individuals, and what we call rising stars or student leaders. We have also written about critical issues affecting APIs, such as our refugee population along Colfax Avenue, mental health struggles and pressures that take place in API homes, and being lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender as an API. Our hope is that Asian Avenue has inspired others to make a greater impact. When we have shared inspiring stories of 13-year-old violinists working hard to hone their craft, or American families opening their homes and hearts to adopt Asian children, or Chinese parents that lost their son in a car accident only to start an incredible foundation building schools in impoverished areas around the world, or that Colorado's Dragon Boat Festival has become the largest in the nation, we hope that these stories encourage all of us as a community to come together in love, understanding, and appreciation, and not just tolerance. It is not enough to just tolerate those that are different from us. We must work to break down our own biases and misperceptions to better understand others and create space where our diversity and differences can flourish. Let us continue to grow together and celebrate the rich diversity of Denver. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Wade Buchanan, and I'm honored and humbled to receive this award. Honestly, I can think of a lot of people who are more worthy of it than I am. But in any case, I'm pleased to accept it in recognition of the work we've done at the Bell Policy Center, as well as the promising work we're now doing at the Colorado Strategic Action Planning Group on Aging. I had the great privilege of serving as the first president of the Bell Policy Center, a position I stepped down from just this summer after a little over 15 years. Often, think tanks get stuck focusing on narrow issues and miss the bigger picture. But we were determined to avoid that fate at the Bell. We developed a concept called the cycle of opportunity, which helped us focus on the social and economic conditions that allow Coloradans and their families to build economic security and success. It's a lifelong, multi-generational cycle, a broad vision that pushes us to see beyond individual issues and constituencies to understand a much bigger picture. And it helps us understand the significance of every generation and stage of life and how each contributes to the well-being of the family and the community. In that sense, it truly is an innovative and inclusive vision for public policy. Today, we're realizing the true promise of the phenomenal advances in medicine and public health over the last century. Life expectancy has increased by 2/3 since 1900, a truly historic accomplishment. A baby born today is expected to live, on average, 33 years longer than a baby born in 1900. That means more and more people are living well past retirement age, and they're doing so with a lot left to contribute to their families and their communities. And like the rest of society, the seniors of the future will be more racially, ethnically, and culturally diverse than ever. Some think that all of us living so long is a problem, but that's only if we fail to prepare. We think it's a wonderful opportunity to increase the quality of life for everyone. That's what makes the work of the Colorado Strategic Action Planning Group on Aging so exciting. The Bell, along with Colorado AARP and the Denver Regional Council of Governments, pushed the legislation that created the planning group. And I'm honored to serve on the group, and we're very excited to be releasing our first iteration of a state strategic plan for aging at the end of next month. If we get this right, we can ensure Colorado seniors remain fully integrated in and continue to contribute to our communities for as long as they want and are able. That's so exciting. And it's for that vision of a future that fully includes Coloradans of every age that I'm pleased and honored to accept this award. I want to thank the Denver Commission on Aging for nominating me. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Ray Washington, founder and executive director of Bigger Than Me Youth and Family Services. As I reflect on the work I've done in the community, I feel my greatest impact has been made by empowering fathers to understand the importance of their roles and overcoming barriers to being active in the lives of their children. I believe fathers are the cornerstones of families, and families are the cornerstones of our community. Father absence is the root of many social issues we're experiencing in our community today. Research and studies have found that children without fathers in their lives are more likely to live in poverty, use drugs, drop out of school, develop emotional and behavioral problems, and be incarcerated. Growing up without a father in my life, I've experienced all of these outcomes. This is the why that inspires my what. A singer was asked to sing a few bars of the song Amazing Grace. After finishing, he was asked to sing it again as though he had been shot in the back when he was a kid and his favorite uncle just got out of jail, the hood version. This time, his performance was absolutely amazing, and he had a greater impact on the listeners. So the first time he was asked to sing, he knows what he was doing. The second time, he knows why he was doing it. When we know our why, our what has a greater impact, because then we are walking in or toward our purpose. God allowed me to go through the father absence, the poverty, drug abuse, behavioral problems, and incarceration to prepare me for my why. Over the years, I've had the privilege and pleasure of serving thousands of fathers and families in our community. The majority of these fathers did not have fathers in their lives. Their fathers were fatherless, their fathers' fathers were fatherless, and so on. The greatest impact and reward comes through educating and empowering fathers to break these generational cycles. While grocery shopping a few weeks ago, I ran into a father I had helped get access to and build a healthy relationship with his son many years ago. He introduced me to his son, daughter-in-law, and his grandson. The instant I realized this dad had actually broken the cycle of father absence for his son and his son's son, I could not hold back the tears of joy. How can we quantify something this priceless and the impact it will have on our community for generations to come? Last year, I took 25 dads and their kids to a Rockies game, all of whom had never attended a professional sporting event in their lives. While these fathers realized they were taking their sons and daughters to a baseball game, what they did not realize was that they were creating lifetime memories for their children. This simple activity did not just impact the lives of the dads, it had a greater impact on the lives of their children. I only have one memory of my father doing anything with me. One day he came and picked me up, took me to the library, took pictures of me, and dropped me back off at home. I've held on to this memory all my life, and it is why I work to provide low-cost and no-cost activities for fathers and children in the community. Every child deserves and wants to have a healthy relationship with their mother and father. I am currently inspiring others to have impact in the community by engaging and building working relationships with all four pillars of the community. These pillars consist of government agencies, businesses, nonprofit organizations, and faith-based organizations. Through these true partnerships and collaborations, I am working to bring awareness, education, and resources to fathers and youth who are at risk. Thank you, Mayor Hancock, the Agency for Human Rights and Community Partnerships, and the Denver African American Commission. I am humbled and pleased to glorify God by receiving and accepting this prestigious award.
Hello, I'm Logan Taylor with the Alexander Foundation. On behalf of the Board of Directors, we would like to thank Mayor Hancock and the Denver LGBTQ Commission for this honor. The Alexander Foundation was started with a garage sale hosted by Dr. Bill Lovell in the early 80s, raising a little over $400 to help his friends fight HIV and AIDS. From there, the foundation was born and continued to grow year after year. Now, 35 years later, we have given nearly $3.5 million back to the GLBT community of Colorado, assisting those in need. We don't give away large amounts of money, $3,000 being the most for our signature scholarship. So donations of $200 here and $50 there really add up. In the last 35 years, we've provided assistance to countless individuals in the community. As a foundation, we are dedicated to the community in our backyard. We've continued to build relationships with our donors and referral partners, as well as a variety of organizations throughout the state. Over the past few years, we've focused on growing awareness, and we've been motivated to get out and spread the word of TAF to the next generation. With an aging donor base, many of which saw the inception of the foundation 35 years ago, partnering with the Denver Gay and Lesbian Flag Football League, as well as local GLBT-friendly bars, restaurants, and other establishments, we've continued to involve the younger community members. It doesn't take much to give back, and it's not always about money either. Volunteering for or attending an event, joining the organization as part of a committee, or simply sharing the word makes such a difference for an all-volunteer organization like the Alexander Foundation. As one of the longest-standing GLBT nonprofits in Colorado, we are dedicated to continuing to build those relationships and, most importantly, being relevant with the changing needs of our recipients.
Hi, my name is Lola Salazar, and I am the co-founder of the Salazar Family Foundation. We would like to thank Mayor Michael Hancock and the Denver Latino Commission for this honor. Our foundation's core mission is to encourage Denver area students to achieve their educational goals. The foundation does this by supporting organizations that are committed to improving the quality of education and students' access to it. Our family spends a lot of time researching and doing our due diligence to ensure that organizations that we support make an impact on our community. Each project has had a very special, positive influence on the community in its own way. A few of the projects that we have supported have been providing books for school libraries, as well as providing books for children to build their own libraries at home. We have provided educational and athletic scholarships to students in the Denver metro area who otherwise might not have had access to continue their educational or athletic journey. Knowing that we're able to provide these valuable resources truly touches our hearts. The greatest sense of joy is seeing firsthand how the resources we have provided have changed lives. It is my firm belief that actions speak louder than words. So we inspire others primarily through example. Rob grew up on the north side, and I grew up on the south side of Denver. We were taught that no matter where you come from or who you are, you have the power to make a difference. We have consistently been involved with giving back. From the time when we first got married, passing out sandwiches to the homeless, to now donating through our foundation. It is our hope that our presence in the community, sharing our story, and giving back inspires others to follow suit.
Hi, my name is Julie Riskin, and I'm the Executive Director of the Colorado Cross Disability Coalition. I was asked to talk about how I am inspiring others in my community to have an impact. I don't know if or how I inspire anyone. I do know that I feel driven to break down systems that don't work. I do know every day I see incredible, talented people with disabilities that not only have a lot to contribute, but who desperately want to give back and have a useful and meaningful role. I know that as long as our policies prevent that from happening, there is more work to do. Inspiration is a loaded word. Some think people with disabilities are inspirational just for living. That's not inspirational. We're all just people doing what we need to do, adjusting to any other life change or circumstance. I am inspired, however, by the incredible dedication and spirit I see in my amazing community. The inspiration is not because most of the people have disabilities, but because the disability community has developed strategies that we think can help everyone else. I'm going to talk about 3. Number 1, there should never be a division between clients and staff in the human services or social justice communities. We all learn from each other, and we need to have equality. 2, our motto, nothing about us without us. People who are affected by a situation have the knowledge on how to solve the problems in that situation. Therefore, those people must be meaningfully represented on decision-making bodies and as employees of organizations that are funded to solve problems. Whether that be disability, homelessness, or anything else, no one understands or is motivated like one who has been there. This does not mean that we work in isolation, but that we must be included in a real and meaningful way. And 3, the power is always in the group or community. None of us does this alone. While this award is a great honor, the award must be for our whole community, because it is our community that has made the impact. It's easy to be the one in front of the cameras or on the stage. I can do what I do today only because so many came before me. Too many to name, but certainly including Laura Hershey, Wade Blank, Paul Stewart, George Roberts, and Larry Ruiz. These are people who put their bodies on the line so I can get on a bus every day. People who broke barriers so that I can have a job. I can continue to do this today only because so many stand with me, and we work together as a community where everyone has a valued and valuable role. Our community has made a tremendous impact, especially here in Colorado. We've done so by coming together and embracing a cross-disability approach, and constantly working on the intersectionality of discrimination and oppression, because our movement must not only include, but actively embrace all of our members. True integration, however, will require a universal understanding that disability is part of the normal human experience and is neither tragic nor inspirational. When society at large sees what we see in the disability community, which is that everyone has something to offer, and then we act on it with our policies, only then will integration be realized.
I'm Brigitte McAuliffe, and I'm the director and co-founder of Picture Me Here. I believe one of the greatest impacts of Picture Me Here is that our projects and exhibits foster beautiful and rare moments of integration. I often find myself borrowing Kyle Work's quote, that the shortest distance between two people is a story. At Picture Me Here, we believe this is especially true when bringing people together from different backgrounds and cultures. Sharing personal stories and showing someone you're interested and willing to listen deeply creates a powerful connection. Stories help us understand one another, and we believe genuine understanding is crucial to healthy neighborhoods and communities. When we get to know our neighbors personally, we take care of one another. Stories move us beyond statistics and stereotypes, and Picture Me Here empowers immigrant and refugee storytellers to share their voices and build stronger connections and communities. Our program, in partnership with many other community organizations, provides tools, training, and support for refugees and immigrants to become the authors and artists of their own stories. In our program, participants and mentors produce and share personal stories from big life-changing moments to common everyday moments. Through this process, we get to know each other in a profound way, and we form meaningful friendships. Two of our participants, Goshen Carmel and Juliana Macias, offer great examples of inspiration, leadership, and community building through photography and storytelling. Goshen and Juliana were both past participants, and they're now instructors. Goshen is a refugee from the Congo, and he's been involved in Picture Me Here since some of the first projects.
I've learned a lot from my experience in Picture Me Here just beyond photography and video techniques. I've learned not to look out not only for my own interest, but also the interest of others. Life becomes more meaningful when selfish ambitions are non-existent in our heart. Picture Me Here has inspired me to be more confident to share my story as a former refugee, and has inspired me to follow my dream as a storyteller and a filmmaker. I've met a lot of refugees with different stories and cultural background, and we all share the experience of fleeing poverty, persecution, and wars in our home country. Through Picture Me Here, I've learned the capacity of visual storytelling, self-expression to empower others, and to connect with various communities and cultures.
Juliana is a recent immigrant from Brazil. Juliana has participated in 2 Picture Me Here courses at Emily Griffith Technical College, where she's learning English. She's also co-taught our classes at New America School and is serving as a mentor for one of our current projects.
When people come to America, they are just another person. But with a camera in our hands, we can express ourselves in deep ways. Picture Me Here was the first door where I could express my feelings, not using words, but just my sensibility about the world. This was the first time I could feel who I am here, because often I want to express my feelings but don't have the right words in a different language. Photography gives me confidence. Also, as a mentor in Picture Me Here, I can inspire other people and give them the tools to reach others too. We can create bonds by sharing our lives. In Picture Me Here, we create a trusting atmosphere where each person can, even without spoken language, find what we have in common.
On behalf of Picture Me Here, I'd like to thank you all, and we are so grateful for receiving this award.
Hi, I'm Renee Fagan. I'm the CEO of the Colorado Nonprofit Association. As a native Coloradan, my motivation has always been to make Colorado a better place to live. At the Colorado Nonprofit Association, our goal is for Colorado to have the nation's most effective, vibrant, and innovative nonprofit community that is essential to the quality of life in our state. To reach that goal, we must collaborate together, include all voices, and leverage our resources to create positive change. One example is the Colorado Collaborative for Nonprofits. We're 7 nonprofit organizations that all provide services to other community-based nonprofits, share not only office space, but share ideas, expertise, and networks. The collaborative was made possible by a shared space initiative of the Denver Office of Strategic Partnerships. Collaboration takes work and requires give and take by all participants to work for a common goal. Bringing people together to reach an outcome that we couldn't reach individually has been my greatest impact. I believe that we each have a spirit of generosity to help others and to give back. Because of our busy lives with multiple demands and for our time and attention, it's not always easy to act out that spirit. But people will act when they see a need and can easily get involved. And that's the role of Colorado's 20,000 nonprofit organizations. At the Colorado Nonprofit Association, we work every day to provide knowledge and information to nonprofit leaders that helps them succeed in their missions and enables them to connect with generous Coloradans. I hope that my leadership and example to serve the community through strengthening nonprofits also serves not only to inspire others, but gives them a pathway to have their own community impact.
Good evening. I am Judge Christine Arguello and one of the founders of Law School Yes We Can, formerly known as Law School Si Se Puede. On behalf of Law School Yes We Can, I am honored to accept the Mayor's 2016 Diversity and Inclusion Award. The theme for this year's award, Igniting Through Inspiration, Innovation, and Integration for Impact, is the perfect description of our program. First, our program is inspiring. Since I was a young lawyer, which is more years ago than I care to admit, Colorado law firms and corporations have lamented that their lawyers are not diverse because they cannot attract diverse lawyers to Colorado. I decided to address this problem, not by looking beyond Colorado to attract students from afar, but by looking within at the talent we have right here in our own state. The challenge is to inspire low-income students, students of color, and first-generation college students who think they might want to become lawyers to take the steps necessary to fulfill their dream. And the inspiration must be focused on Colorado students. Working with a small group of lawyers committed to the same cause, I decided we needed to drill our own pipeline to diversity in the law. Our group concluded that Colorado high school graduates, because of their ties to Colorado, were much more likely to remain or return to Colorado after obtaining their law degrees. We also realized that, like many of us, these students were often the first in their family to attend college and that they lacked access to the types of people and experiences that allow their more privileged peers to discern a career in the law and to create the caliber of resume that would attract attention from a law school admissions counselor. So in 2014, we founded Law School Yes We Can. The students in our program, whom we call fellows, each receive 4 years of mentoring by a team of 2 lawyers and 1 law student, so 3 mentors total, and hard and soft skills development and exposure programming to ensure their undergraduate success and admission to the law school of their choice. Law School Yes We Can is also innovative. There is no program of its caliber in existence in the entire United States. And yet, we are the pioneers driving innovation in this field. We are helping like-minded lawyers and judges in New York, Texas, Florida, Pennsylvania, and California to set up similar programs. And although our fellows are still in college, we are already making a difference. Now, in its third year of existence, Law School Yes We Can is 38 fellows and close to 200 lawyers strong. Of the current 38 fellows in the program, 79% are women of color. More than half are first-generation high school graduates, and almost 3/4 will be first-generation college graduates. As of February of this year, all but 3 of our 24 fellows carried a GPA of 3.0 or better, and more than 1/3 carried a 3.5 GPA or higher. A number of fellows have participated in summer internships in the Denver City Attorney's Office, and one local firm even sponsored our first paid internship for a fellow this past summer. Finally, our program is rooted in integration. By integrating the Colorado legal community into our program, we have forged a coalition willing to stand together in this important mission, a mission that law firms, law schools, and the legal profession as a whole have struggled with for years. Each day, we are cultivating a legal community as diverse as the population bound by our laws, and we will see a difference in the face of the Colorado Bar and in the Colorado leadership in years to come. With the help of an army of lawyers and professionals who have joined the ranks of Law School Yes We Can, sí se puede.